I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but I went across the street and I tried to speak to the protesters. And one thing that became so apparent was the radical difference between them and us. Every single one of us is in here unmasked. No one's covering their faces. There's cameras, we're all being open and we're talking. Is our mic on? Oh, okay. And they're all across the street screaming and they're covering their faces, and I think that says a lot. I asked them if they wanted to talk, and none of them wanted to talk, so I think it's really cool that we're all here, and I thank you guys for coming out despite all the craziness. So, my story is a little different. I feel like all of you guys do such like amazing like groundwork stuff and like real life stuff, and I'm like filming videos from my house. I'm a YouTuber. So, growing up, I'm trans. Hi, I'm trans. And I started realizing I was trans in my later teenage years, and I started making a ton of friends in the LGBT community, people that at the time were a great comfort to me, people who I could confide in, relate to, etc. It was great. And then I got into college, and college was a huge changing time for me as far as how I viewed the world. I started realizing that there was no room on my liberal college campus for any disagreement about anything, in the slightest. I did a video about this, but I had one experience that really made me start questioning a lot. So I was in a psychology class, and the professor was very much a militant feminist, very liberal, and was very unabashed about sharing that, which is fine. I guess I can respect she shared it up front, but it was a little frustrating sometimes. And we had a class on domestic violence and women who are victims of domestic violence. And the whole room, all the women were going around telling their story. It was very heartfelt. I was crying, bitch, like everyone was crying. And at the end of the class, towards the end of the class, there was a guy who stood up and he wanted to tell his story. And he started talking about how he escaped a situation with an ex who had tried to murder him, had beaten him, had cheated on him, just abused him really badly. And the entire class of feminists, liberals, etc. burst into laughter at his story. And I was like really, really taken aback by that. And it really made me start questioning the people that I was surrounding myself with, because all my friends were leftists at this point. And then, because of that experience, I made a YouTube video talking about it. And then overnight, my channel kind of took off, changed my life overnight, and changed my friends overnight. So I started being more and more open about my political beliefs, about the things, liberal ideology I disagreed with, which at the time was not even as much as now. I feel like I've probably gotten further right from my experience of being open about my opinions. But at the time, I lost every single friend I ever had. I had friends that would go to our other friend's house and they'd sit in a circle and watch my videos and like laugh and like talk shit. And it was just very eye-opening to realize that these people were not my friend because I was trans and they wanted to be there for me and support me, and they were my friend because they thought I was liberal. And I think that speaks volumes about what happened at the LGBT Center. I tweeted them and I said, I think you guys, if you're gonna, ban us from stepping foot on the premises because of our political beliefs, you shouldn't be called the LGBT Center. You should be called the Liberal LGBT Center.